What if the only thing standing between you and your miracle is your own appetite? Most people die with their prayers unanswered because they're too afraid of one specific, hidden ritual. I'm going to show you the weapon that changes everything, if you're brave enough to use it. Have you ever felt like God is ghosting you? You are on your knees, tears hitting the floor, doing everything right. Yet the silence from heaven is so loud it actually hurts. It is a terrifying realization. What if your devotion simply isn't enough? Welcome to Soul Refined. If you are tired of the silence and ready for a real shift, subscribe now and join us. You cannot afford to miss where this journey ends. I have lived in that suffocating vacuum, screaming into the void until my spirit felt crushed under a heavy, metallic ceiling of brass. This isn't just a delay. It is an invisible wall holding your destiny hostage. We are taught that faith is a straight line, but nobody warns you about the paralyzing stagnation where prayers simply die in the air. But what if there is a forgotten frequency that shatters that wall? Stay with me, because we are about to unlock exactly why you are stuck. Once you realize that the silence isn't God ignoring you, but your soul being drowned out by the world's noise, your entire strategy has to change. We live in a culture that treats every physical craving like a command that must be obeyed immediately, leaving us spiritually bloated but starving for something real. I had to stop seeing fasting as a holy hunger strike to twist God's arm, and start seeing it as a radical act of rebellion against my own comfort. It is not about earning points or punishing your body for its needs. It is a desperate, beautiful exchange. You are intentionally quieting the demanding, persistent scream of your physical hunger, so that the fragile, steady whisper of your spirit can finally be heard. We aren't just empty. We are making room. We are finally admitting that we don't just live by bread, but by every word that breathes life into the void within. When we finally stop filling our bellies and start feeding our souls, we step into a realm governed by an entirely different set of laws. What I call the spiritual physics of breakthrough. I spent years wondering why some battles felt unwinnable, only to realize that the most powerful figures in history didn't rely on words alone. Jesus didn't just launch his ministry. He was forged in a 40-day desert fast. Esther didn't just wish for safety. She fasted until the very atmosphere of a hostile empire shifted in her favor. There is a raw, terrifying power that only activates when the physical self is silenced. Think about those words in Mark 9:29. This kind can come out only by prayer and fasting. It means there are certain obstacles, generational patterns or deep-seated bondages, that are literally immune to casual, comfortable prayer. They require a level of surrender that only hunger can produce. Fasting is the act of sharpening the spiritual blade. It doesn't twist God's arm, because He is already for us. Rather, it strips away the layers of self that act as insulation, finally allowing us to become conductors for His power. It positions you exactly where the breakthrough is already flowing. Understanding that this power exists is one thing, but figuring out how to wield it without burning out is where most of us hesitate. I used to think it was all or nothing, a 40-day desert trek or total failure. But I've learned that God honors the heart that simply reaches out in whatever way it can. The first path is the complete fast, a total emptying of the self where you survive on water alone. It is the most intense, visceral way to say that your life belongs to the Spirit, but it requires a physical and spiritual readiness that shouldn't be rushed. Then, there is the beauty of the partial fast, often called the Daniel fast. This isn't about starvation. It's about choosing to eat only what is simple and necessary, stripping away the choice foods like sugar and meat to keep your heart undistracted and your mind clear. I've found that for many of us, the time-based fast is the most practical entry point. By skipping a specific meal or fasting for a set window of hours, you create a rhythmic space in your day where physical hunger serves as a recurring alarm, reminding you to pivot back to prayer. Finally, never underestimate the power of a non-food fast. In our digital age, your phone might be a bigger barrier to God than your stomach. Fasting from social media or constant entertainment can often reveal more about your soul's dependencies than a week without bread ever could. It's about choosing the weapon that best silences the specific noise in your life right now. Once you've chosen the weapon that fits your season, you need a battle plan. Because a warrior without a strategy is just a casualty waiting to happen. It all begins in the secret chambers of your heart, where you must ruthlessly audit your motives. Don't just stop eating. Start seeking with a desperate honesty that demands more than just a surface-level change. You have to set a goal so clear it burns. Tell the Father exactly which mountain you need moved. Whether it's a shattered relationship, a career dead end, or a stagnant calling. The most vital shift, however, is the replacement. If you skip the food but ignore the word, you aren't fasting. You are just starving in the dark. You must feast on Scripture until the ink feels like life-giving marrow in your bones, turning every physical hunger pang into a sharp, urgent prompt for prayer. Throughout this sacred process, remember to honor the temple you reside in by resting and staying hydrated, as spiritual intensity should never be confused with physical recklessness. And when the fast finally ends, don't rush back into the noise. Break it gently, letting the slow return to physical food mirror the spiritual tenderness you've just cultivated. This isn't just a schedule. It is the very architecture of your upcoming breakthrough. Even with a perfect plan, you have to be ready for the moment the mirror starts reflecting back the parts of yourself you've spent a lifetime trying to hide. Fasting is a brutal confrontation with the self. As the physical toxins leave your body, the emotional shadows begin to surface. You might find yourself snapping at loved ones or drowning in a sudden wave of bitterness you thought you'd buried years ago. This isn't failure. It is a sacred detox where God pulls the weeds of pride and anger so He can plant something new. But watch out for the ego. The moment you start feeling superior because of your empty stomach, you've fallen into the trap of performance. If you stumble and reach for a snack in a moment of weakness, do not let shame end your journey. God isn't looking for a perfect performance. He is looking for a heart that simply refuses to stop walking toward Him. When you push through that raw vulnerability, you finally emerge into the light of the dawn, where the breakthrough is no longer a distant hope, but a present reality. It is in this quiet aftermath of surrender that the confusion once clouding your vision begins to burn away, replaced by a crystalline clarity and an authority you simply didn't possess before. You are finally standing in the harvest of your own healing. If you feel that shift coming, type "I'm ready for my breakthrough" below. Take that first small step today, and let God's power rewrite your story. Looking back on this journey, the most profound lesson I've learned is that we are a generation that is simultaneously overstimulated and undernourished. We spend our lives frantically trying to build our own way out of the dark, forgetting that the greatest breakthroughs usually happen in the moments where we finally stop trying to be the hero. The heart of the matter is this: when you starve the ego, you finally feed the spirit. To apply this in your world today, don't wait for your life to fall apart before you seek this level of depth. Start choosing intentional less so that you can experience the divine more. Whether it's one meal, 1 hour of silence, or one day without the digital noise, treat that space not as a void, but as an altar. The moment you stop treating God like a vending machine and start treating Him like the very oxygen you breathe, your perspective shifts. You stop asking when the breakthrough will come and start realizing that the breakthrough has already begun within you. You are no longer a victim of your circumstances, but a participant in a power that transcends them. If you had to choose one thing to fast from right now, besides food, to clear your mind and spirit, what would it be? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. If this message resonated with you, please subscribe to Soul Refined to help us keep creating content that matters. Your support is what fuels this journey.